Welcome, welcome. We're broadcasting to you live from the Figma office in New York City. While folks are getting settled, grab a snack or your favorite drink and jump into the chat and say hi. Let us know where you're tuning in from and maybe something fun that you've been working on lately. Whether you're returning regular or joining us for the first time, we're so glad that you're here. Before we dive in, let's cover a few quick housekeeping notes. For today's live stream, we're offering translated captions in 7 different languages. You can access this function via the QR code or the attendee link we'll be sharing in the Zoom chat. We recommend doing this on your mobile phone and following along here. The session will be recorded and sent to all registrants after the stream. It'll also be available on YouTube at youtube.com/@Figma. If you have any questions, ask away. Our advocate team is here with us today to answer questions in the Q&A in Zoom. But make sure your chat is set to everyone and keep the discussion throughout today's stream. If you're having trouble reading anything on the slides, be sure to enter full screen mode, which should help you out just fine. Lastly, we want to take a moment to direct you to Figma's Code of Conduct. You can read it at figma.com/code-of-conduct. Please be kind and respectful to everybody that we have here on the virtual stage and everyone in the chat. We ask that you refrain from sharing any personal links, so just don't do it. We will remove it. Let's get into it. My name is Miggi and I'll be your host for today's release notes. Today is our first live launch event since our Config conference earlier this year. For today's announcements, I have a whole panel of folks that are going to share updates with you today. Without further ado, let's meet today's presenters. Today we're joined by Alex, Katie, Jasmine, and Akbar, who will be diving deep and live demoing all the new features. You'll see our social handles right under our names, so feel free to connect and follow along. At Figma, our vision is to eliminate the gap between imagination and reality. We build tools to help you turn your ideas into real products. A couple of months ago at Config, we doubled our product portfolio with the launch of Figma Make, Figma Draw, Figma Sites, and Figma Buzz. We would like to thank you all so much for all the feedback that you've provided since those launches. And today we're excited to share even more updates to all of the products that we have here at Figma. All right, everybody hold on to your hats. I want to introduce you to our first presenter, Alex, a product manager here at Figma, who's going to give us the latest on Figma Make.
Alrighty, Miggi, thank you so much. Happy to be here. All right, let's jump right in. I can't wait to show you all everything we've been cooking. Figma Make helps everyone on the team bring ideas to life faster than ever before. Whether you're a designer envisioning that perfect interaction, or maybe a PM like me looking to communicate a new idea, you can use Figma Make to prompt it into existence. Last week, we brought Make to all plans, including our free starter plan, and y'all are already creating amazing things with it. And in the meantime, we've been hard at work on a ton of great updates to Make. Style context and mobile preview help ensure that every make looks exactly the way you want on every device. Our new Supabase integration brings real app capabilities like a database and file storage and sign-in to your make. And you can now share makes on Figma community because, Miggi, when you build something awesome, you got to share it, right?
Oh yeah, you got to share it.
All right, live demo time. Let's go see all of this in action. All right, so for today's demo, we're going to build a tool for managing community science projects. My designer's already designed some screens here. You can see I've got a project listing page for all the projects that are going on. I have a project details page over here. But I want to bring these to life in Figma Make. So I'm just going to copy this frame. I'm going to come over to an empty Figma Make window. And for the demo, I've already written us a prompt. I'm going to paste my designs here into the chat box. You can see I've got both my frames here. And Make is going to take both of these designs and bring them to life for us. Now, I'm going to do one more thing. I'm going to use our new style context, this little bookmark down in the chat, and I'm going to attach our design system. What that's going to do is make a CSS version of our design system, as well as any guidelines I've written to help the AI use our design system correctly so that when this all gets built out, it looks exactly like it should. So let's let that cook. I'm going to pop over to one that's already baked. So you can see now, same designs as we were looking at before, brought to life with full fidelity, but now we have a working prototype. So we can see nice little hover effects here. I can click into one of these projects. Perfect, and I can see that we brought that as well, maybe some things to fix up on the charts. And now I'm gonna go back. Now, something's not quite right. I feel like I wanna tweak the font a little bit on this category badge. So I'm gonna grab our point to edit down here, and I can click anywhere in the make and make quick tweaks. So let's pick a font. Maybe we'll pick this other font, make that a little bit bigger. So just like that, without another prompt, I can make little style tweaks to make things look exactly the way I want. And if I wanted to chat with the AI and have it work specifically on this part of the design, I can also use point and edit to focus the AI on that particular part. Now, we've got a great overall flow so far, but I don't have a project submissions page. And I want to think through how our users can submit projects. As it turns out, our designer hasn't made a submissions flow yet, probably because that pesky PM hasn't written the PRD yet. So let's tell Make to add a submission form. So I'm going to grab a prompt, paste it in here, say, you know what, just Make, create me a form to submit projects, collect the data that I need, and then show it here in the list on the page. So once again, we'll let that cook. I'm going to pop over to one that's already baked as well so we can keep going quickly. And so now, same prototype as before, but if I click on Submit Project, you can see that it's pulled in all of the styling details that I'd expect. It knows what font I'm using for headings. It knows I'm using the small caps font for individual projects. And if I actually do the thing and put in some test data, you can see very, very fancy project we're submitting here. Go ahead and click Submit. That pops right in to my front-end prototype. So now we've got a working form. But if I refresh this is going to go away. If I were to share this link with Miggi right now, he wouldn't see these projects. It's all sample data. This is great if you want to do a front-end prototype. But what if I actually want to publish this live so anyone in the community can use it? With Make's Supabase integration, I can do just that. So I'm going to paste in one more prompt here. Perfect. We're going to say turn this into a working app, remove the sample data, and instead store all of my projects in Supabase. So we'll let that cook. It'll take a little bit here to connect to Supabase. Know that if you're new to Supabase, Make will walk you through all the steps needed to set it up. For now, I'm going to go ahead and jump forward one more time while this one's cooking. As you can see, all my sample data is gone now. We now have a real app backed by a real backend. And so if I submit a project for real this time, we'll say, maybe this is Miggi's project. We'll change it up a bit. Let's do astronomy. We can put in some test data. And I'm going to upload a real photo here. Pick this nice Milky Way photo. It's going to take a bit because it's going to upload this photo to our Supabase backend and bring that into the app. And so now, if I go and publish this, anyone can see these projects, anyone can submit their own. So we now have a working app. Pretty great, right?
I'm honored that you named it after me.
I mean, you know,
yeah.
I'm here for it. Absolutely here for it. So last step here, let's go ahead and publish this Make. Anytime you're ready to publish, you can click Publish in the upper right. It'll give me a Figma.site URL in just a minute or two. And new, as I mentioned earlier, you can now feature Makes on Figma Community as well. So just flip that toggle, and this will publish my Make to Figma Community as well as to that Figma.site URL. Folks are publishing lots of amazing things on Figma Community already. You can check this out for yourself at figma.com/community/make. You can see here anything from some fun things. We've got a little greeting card you might use, a fun shader, and we've got some tools as well. Just looking through this, someone here has been playing with ASCII art and how it looks in with different presets and different characters. Down here, someone's got a good start to a dashboard I might want to start with. Also some useful tools. Someone here is letting me do terrible, terrible touchpad drawings. You can see I'm not an artist. And turning those into an SVG if I want to use that in my site. Someone here having fun with pattern generation. So tons of fun things to check out on Figma Community. That's it for the live demo, but one more exciting change to call out. With all the new power available in Figma Make, more of you are doing a lot of prompting, and it can be hard to remember what changed when. So to make it a bit easier to remember, Make now names every version. So if you need to go back, it's easy to do so. All right, so quick recap, Make available on all plans. Today is the day to try it out if you haven't already. Style context and mobile preview help you make great looking makes no matter what device you're optimizing for. Real apps can now be built with our Supabase integration. We have Makes on Figma Community for tons and tons of inspo, and named versions help you go back if and when you need to. And with that, that's it for Make. It's time over to my PM pal Katie to show off all the new things coming to Figma Sites.
And welcome, Katie. How are you doing today?
Good, Miggi. How are you?
I am fantastic. I can't wait to see what you have to share with us about Figma Sites.
Cool. Let's dive in. Hi, I'm Katie, one of the product managers on Figma Sites. As an Aztec config, Figma Sites is our beta product that lets you design, prototype, and publish websites all in one place. So far, we have been amazed by all of the websites you have brought to life using Sites. And today, I'm here to tell you about our exciting new features that will help you take these projects even further, including custom subdomains, code layers, embed improvements, and video fills, all of which are live on Sites right now. Then I'll give you a sneak peek on two features that are coming soon: site-wide password protection and custom fonts. Let's dive into a demo. So here I have a video portfolio example that I published on Sites before this demo began. You can see that I've already added motion with this carousel and with this GIF. But let's take a look under the hood. Here, if I double click on this carousel, what you can see is that I actually built it out using a code layer powered by Make. And as I've prompted it to make changes On the right rail, you'll see that those settings have been added to give me even more control. This is a great start, but I think we can take the motion even further. Scrolling down here, you'll see I have this static image. But now, with our new video fill feature, I can actually go in here and click this new button, replace the image with a video. Once I do so, you'll also see that I have some new controls on the right to be able to control how this video comes to life on my site. So let's take a look at how that's coming to life. You've got your carousel and your GIF. But now we've got this video autoplaying.
I
rad?
love it. That's so good. It looks so good.
We're stoked about that. So now, if I come back into the file, I think we've got motion covered pretty well. But one other thing I want to change is that down here, you'll see that we have this contact section. Someone interested in contacting me might miss this small button, but not to fear. With our new embed updates, I can actually go ahead and I'm going to delete that button now. And I'm going to come into our left rail and the insert menu. I'll drag out a new typeform embed. So I'm just going to get that in here. And then I'm just going to change this up a little bit so that it formats well. Cool. And so what I'm going to do as well here is that now I have a typeform that I've actually already formatted to match my site. So I'll copy that link out and I'll paste it directly into the embed here. Cool. And so because the demo gods are being a little unkind, I'll show you what that looks like now that I've added in. So we've got the carousel, the GIF, our video that's moving, and all the way at the bottom, we have this typeform built directly into the site, so no more users having to try to navigate buttons. We love to see that.
They were calling you a wizard in the chat.
Oh, there we go. Well,
Yeah.
you know, I missed my Hogwarts letter, but that's okay. The last thing I want to show you all is that as you're creating these sites, you probably don't want to have an auto-generated link that you have to share out with a client. I'm not going to send somebody banana pancakes, although I do love a banana pancake. So what you do here is you come into your settings, you click domains, you click edit domain, and you can change this subdomain to whatever seems right for you. And then all you have to do is click save, change that URL, and then that will be your new custom subdomain live on the web. Great, so now we've got our fully functioning site with all those code layers, GIFs, videos, and with a new form as well, using that type form. We can't wait to see how y'all start using these new features to bring even more personality, motion, and smoother user experiences to your sites. And before I wrap up, I want to share a couple of sneak peeks. Coming soon, you'll be able to upload your custom fonts to Figma Sites, so your landing pages, portfolios, or product sites actually look on brand. No more faking it with screenshots or settling for those close enough system fonts. And with our upcoming password protection feature, you can safely share work-in-progress designs or portfolios with an extra layer of security and privacy. That's all for now. Keep the feedback coming, and we'll be back with more sites updates soon. Over to Jasmine with Figma Buzz.
Thank you,
See you
Katie.
later.
And welcome, Jasmine.
Hello, everyone. Nice to see you all. By the way, can we get some love for Miggi's nails over in the chat? Just wanted to show that off for everyone. Looking really good. Hi, everyone. I am Jasmine. I'm the product manager for Figma Buzz, which is a product that we released a few months ago in beta at Config. It's a tool designed for brand designers and their collaborators to come together to simplify the process of making campaigns and marketing assets. We've really appreciated your feedback over the past few months. Please keep it coming. But one key theme that we've heard is that you all need more tools to stay on brand, but you also need ways to make different types of assets. And so the launches I have for you today are designed to do just that. So let's kick it off into the demo. Over here, I have a static asset. I'm here to make a social media post to announce a speaker series for a company I work for. Let's say it's called Collab. You can see that this is looking a little dry. I want to spruce it up a little bit. But if I want to, I'm kind of left to my own devices to select values and menus. I can pick a font, whatever I want, or maybe a color, but my brand design team probably isn't going to like that. But today, admins can now go into their admin panel and set libraries by default to be available in Buzz. So here I have Collab's brand kit. I'm going to check Buzz files. I'm going to refresh my editor. And now when I get back here, I should see my styles, fonts, and components show up by default. So let's show you that in action. I can go into my color wheel, and now I see the Collab brand kit colors and styles showing up here. I'll select lime because why not? And then here, I'll also change the font. I know this one isn't one that we usually use, and so I'm going to go into the font menu. I'll see the Collab brand assets and select this header. And then I know that we usually include logos in our assets, so I'm going to go go into our inserts menu, I'll again see that library up here, drag in a small logo, scale it up a little bit so everything looks a little bit more balanced. And there we go. Now we have a social asset. We love libraries here at Figma, right, Miggi?
Oh, I love libraries.
We know that you all put so much work into creating them and maintaining them, so we're really excited for you all to have access and to make this available to your collaborators from within Buzz. Okay, on to our next update. I'm going to stay into this file to show you a new way to make engaging assets. One of the things you all really asked us for at Config is video. So I'm very excited to show you what we have for you in store today. We know it's a really important part of making assets today, especially for social media, so let's show you it in action. Here I have a static image and a static asset. It looks pretty good, but I know that I have a video asset that can make the asset look a little bit better in the background. So I'm going to go into this edit content panel, which is basically the place in Buzz where you can update text and images. I'm going to choose media and select this MP4 file that I have. I can add .mov and .mp4 files now within Buzz. So I will add that, and it looks great. I can play it within the canvas to get a little preview, and that looks really nice, but I know it's not quite on brand, so I can adjust some of the controls to pull the saturation down a little to make it look a little bit more like that static asset that we had just before it. And there you go. Now I also want to take the time to show you video templates. Our awesome designer Natasha designed a few video templates for us and published that asset that we just made, but also a few others. And you can see that these are videos with this video playback button here. Now I'm going to sneak in another update here that's not quite related to video, but hopefully still exciting. It's a small but simple quality of life improvement. We added a button for you to add all templates within a larger template file up here in the corner. So if you click that, it will add all of these templates that you have. This is great for those larger files, or maybe you have 20, 50, 100 assets within a single file. And again, just to show you that once more, you can click add all and that will drop them all into the canvas. Okay, so this is great. I have my one Instagram story, which is awesome, but we know today that campaigns tend to be multi-channel. So I want to show you how you can go from this to a bunch of other different assets that are made for different platforms. All I need to do is copy a few different versions of this. And then what I'll do is change the asset type, and it will dynamically resize the elements of this asset according to that new dimension, even if there's a video in the background. So I have my Instagram story. I'm going to make a Facebook post. I'm going to make a LinkedIn portrait. And then I'm finally going to do one more just to make a X post. And then within a matter of seconds, I went from one asset to 5, all made dynamically for a bunch of different platforms. So this is looking great. All that's left for me to do, oh my gosh, I can't even touch things because the chat is going crazy. That's awesome. I'm going to export all of these files together. And because it's a video, I can preview it all within the export window here. I can export it and then send that off. All right, that's what we have for you today for Buzz. Let us know which one is your favorite in the chat. The team is working so hard on a bunch of other updates, including ways to make it easier for you to publish templates and also connect Buzz to the tools that are really important for your workflow. More to come soon. Okay, I'm going to switch gears and stay in this chair to talk you through some updates for our beloved collab tools, FigJam and Figma Slides. Both of these tools help teams align and push work forward. And today, we're announcing features to help teams drive even more collaboration. In FigJam, diagrams now include hundreds of new shapes from AWS, Azure, Google Cloud, Kubernetes, and Cisco, which is rolling out in a few days. So you can map out things like cloud architecture, network infrastructure, or deployment pipelines all in one place. Okay, this one's a small tweak, but hopefully it's a big help. Connectors now snap and align more smoothly in FigJam, making your diagrams and flows feel cleaner with less effort, especially when you're mapping user flows, systems, or org charts, if you're working on a reorg, perhaps. Also, for FigJam, we have a new look and feel to the toolbar, plus a new iconography and the ability to comment from the toolbar, so you don't need to go to the top right of the canvas anymore. It's now easier and faster to navigate, give feedback, and keep ideas flowing. Lastly, we've made a new update to Figma Slides on mobile. You can now swipe or type to navigate, pinch to zoom, and view slides full screen when you rotate your phone, which is perfect for reviewing all the slides that you need to on the go. We're so excited for you all to have these features, and with that, I will pass it over to Akbar to share the latest on dev mode. Thanks, Miggi.
Jasmine, that was so good. No. Oh man, that was amazing. All right, so thank you, Jasmine, and we got Akbar coming up next with dev mode. Akbar, how you doing?
Miggi, how's it going?
Going great.
You ready to talk some dev mode?
Absolutely.
Hey everyone, I'm Akbar. I'm a developer advocate here at Figma, and we're going to talk about some dev mode updates. For those that don't know, dev mode makes it easy to inspect designs and translate them to code. And now with the dev mode MCP server, it even makes it easier to use AI to generate design-informed code. So over the last few weeks, we've been bringing some updates that include interactive inspection in dev mode and some MCP server feature drops. We've heard a lot of feedback from you all about wanting to inspect designs in a more dynamic way. So let's take a look.
So excited to see what you got to share.
Super excited to share it. So typically what happens today in a design file is that you'll see a lot of screens statically represented side by side to look at different breakpoints, to look at different themes, and any other change in the properties of your design. Now, this is really helpful for understanding the different states, but sometimes it doesn't capture the nuance and the dynamic nature of a design for what happens in between breakpoints. And so today we're going to go to Focus View and look at what we call interactive inspection. And now this will allow us to change the size of our screen, make it wider, make it taller, and I can do this a bit more precisely by using this. I can do 1200 by 800 and see how my design would change and look and feel in a bunch of different ways. I can also try out different themes. So we have our dark mode right now. I'm going to switch to light mode. Or if I want to see how this text might look if a user has scaled it up, I have this other mode to have scaled up text, and I can just resize this to see how this might respond. Now, this allows me to look at all the different dynamic areas that this might show up in. It's great for designers to be able to test their designs, and great for developers to be able to understand what's happening here. Now, with these updates, designers and developers get even more value from auto layout. And it's great that we can see this responsiveness right in the canvas, and now we can use dev mode MCP server to take this design context and put it into code. Speaking of the MCP server, we've also got a few new updates for you, and first up is annotations. The MCP server can now read annotations from your designs and bring that context front and center to your AI agents when they generate code. This is fantastic for calling out interactions, accessibility considerations, and any other thing you want your agent to be aware of as it's coding up your design. So we have this going through right now, looking at the annotations, running through, generating this code, and the interaction that we see is that hover state, and it looks beautiful. Next up, we've heard that you want to use images from Figma in your outputs. So we've added an option to use placeholder images from your Figma file when you're building something with MCP. Simply turn on the local server option in MCP settings, and Figma will locally host placeholder assets directly from your design file. Now what this allows you to do is now your AI agent will have direct access to those images from your files and be able to host them locally, just as we see in this GIF over here. And now we have those images right there. And last but not least, we've heard that teams are looking for guidance on how to get the most out of the MCP server. Now, this is where a rules and instructions file comes in handy, and we've added a new tool to help you create design system rules. With this tool, the MCP server will help you build instructions to help your agents consume your design system more consistently. How do you feel about rules, Miggi?
I like to break rules personally.
And that is why Miggi is not an agent. So let's recap. We've made inspection interactive, and for the MCP server, we support annotations, local placeholder images, and a new tool to help you write design system rules. Happy coding, and now I'll pass it back to Miggi for some draw updates.
Awesome. Thank you, Akbar. It's great to see you. Thanks for the updates. All right, so Figma Draw unlocks more expressive designs, and I am here to share with you some Figma Draw updates. So here I am in Figma Draw. When you're in Figma Draw or in Figma Design, you want to make sure you are in draw mode to see these updates. The first update that I have for you today is called Simplify Vector. Simplify Vector, what that's going to allow me to do when I select this object here, you'll see if I double click in, there's a lot of additional points. Let's say I want to reduce those points down, have a cleaner graphic. I can come down here, and when I turn on Simplify Vector and drag this little slider over to the left, you can see how it reduces it. Maybe I've gone a little bit too far, so let's bring that back and accept that. I'm absolutely loving it. It gives you an easy way to clean up your vector artwork. The next one, you may have already seen that we've dropped variable width stroke, but we have some new updates with variable width stroke. I'm going to select this graphic that I have here. I have this little silhouette of myself. I'm going to select it, come down here and you'll see this width profile. As I scroll through the width profiles, you see different presets that are affecting that stroke. When I go edit width profile, I can now come in here and customize that profile. So that's the variable width tool. Now let's go through some new updates with that. When I add in additional points, let's say I want to cycle through them. I can press the tab key to go to different variable width nodes. I can also come in and type in a specific value that I'm looking for. So let's say if I want to press 4 and bring that down, I can type that right in. So this is going to give you a lot of flexibility while you're working. Lastly, I can select multiple nodes at the same time and edit them in tandem. So a lot of good usability updates there with variable width stroke. Next, let's talk about offset vector. This is entirely new, dropping today, available right now. When I come down here, I can apply offset vector and I can basically take this and expand that profile. So let's do that. I'm going to accept it. I'm going to move it behind my other piece here. I can also apply offset vector to this one as well. Let's grab that here. And we're going to apply that offset vector. There we go. And I could take both of these and move them behind my graphic. And voila. So once again, both variable width stroke and offset vector are here and available. Bonus, you can apply it directly to a stroke. So there we go, I'm applying it there. I can even choose to round off those edges, and voila, that is fantastic. So when you put it all together, you can apply this to more intricate illustrations. So you can see here, offset vector applied to my little squid, and if I see that little sharp edge, let's round that off. I think that that is fantastic. So there's more to come with Figma Draw. So let's do a quick recap. We have variable width stroke, we have simplify vector, and we have offset vector. Now let's move on to Figma Design. So Figma Design continues to be a powerful collaborative design tool, right? We're expanding our portfolio, but we're still investing in Figma Design. Today, we have some incredible features to recap and many that are live dropping right now. We're gonna go through some Apple updates, variable authoring improvements, browser notifications, some accessibility features, and a bunch of grid features. So let's head right on to the live demo. I'm gonna head on over to Figma Design. Let's swap back into design mode. First thing we're going to talk about is the updated Apple kits. If you haven't noticed, you can head on over to the assets panel, choose iOS and iPad OS 26 kits. So right in here, I can go to iPhone and pull that in. The one thing that you'll notice, you'll see these nice glassy, glossy looking UI. You'll notice that that is in fact using Figma's new liquid glass. That's going to take us to the next update. If you haven't yet heard, we now have a glass effect. What that allows you to do is apply a glass effect to frames. So when you select a frame, you can come down to the effects panel, choose glass, and there's a number of different properties that you can modify, such as, let's head over here to this object right here. Let's change the refraction, let's change the depth, let's change the dispersion, and you can also add frost. Bonus, if you add a fill to that frame, you can get a nice little tint. Another thing that we dropped to help you with those new updated Apple kits is by default, we now include SF Pro fonts. So we have SF Mono, SF Compact Rounded, SF Compact, SF Pro Rounded, SF Pro. They're all variable fonts, so you can change all the different variations and weights with those fonts. And it's just there. You don't have to download them. I think that is fantastic. Next, we're going to move on to grids. So this is something that we dropped recently where you can select multiple grids and you'll get this little mixed value panel. You can add to them at the same time. This is what we call mixed math. So if I was to add 2 columns, then come over here, and then to that mixed value, add 2 rows. We're basically able to edit both of those grids at the same time, even though they have different layouts. Another update that we dropped recently, we have min and max values both for grid frames and their children. I've already applied some min and max values here. You can see that it's constraining the children. Let's apply that next to that grid frame. Let's head on right there. And what I can do is when I come over to the width, you'll see I can add a max width. Let's add in a max width of 1600. And you'll see that visualization there on the canvas. If I try to extend it beyond 1600, it won't let me. This is going to help you better define your flexibility within your grid features. We also have column, row, and reflow. This is new today. It's a new drop. When I select this grid, you can see we have some available cells here. We have some other objects here. Now, when I go into the grid picker and let's say I remove a row right here, you will see that by resetting those values, instead of stopping me because there's that room, it's going to allow the reflow of those children components. Next up, I'm going to talk about grid item swap padding and gap variables. And I'm going to use this as an opportunity to just kind of like, I have this avatar here. It's Dylan Field's avatar. Dylan Field is our CEO. I'm going to grab all of these objects. I'm going to drop them over here in the grid. And once again, I didn't mention this, but we have gap and padding variables. So when I click on the variables panel, I could change that gap down to 0. I could change that padding now to 80. And you can see that now affecting my grid. So I can go into the padding. Now let's talk about grid item swap. What's really cool about this is you can now choose the different children elements that you have and begin to swap them around. That being said, man, it makes me think, like, I would love to talk to Dylan. Could we get Dylan on the phone? Oh, okay. So I'm hearing that we can get Dylan on the phone, but let's talk about this feature just a quick more moment. If you missed it, basically what's happening here is when I select these objects, I can truly swap them. Previously in grid, you would only really be able to move it in one direction. So being able to properly swap this gives me so much more flexibility in how I work with grid. All right, so how are we doing with Dylan? Can we get Dylan on the call? I don't think he's doing anything busy. He's not busy right now, right? Is he? I don't think so. We can get him on release notes, right? All right. So folks at home, we're going to get Dylan in release notes in just a moment. I want him to see that I've recreated his favorite JPEG. Hey, Dylan, are you there?
Yo, how's it going?
Oh, it's going great. How you doing? Welcome to release notes.
Thank you. It's good to see you all.
Have you been watching live? What's your favorite feature drop of today?
Dude, we've launched some pretty good stuff today, so it's hard to pick a favorite, but okay, maybe I will. I think given that people have been asking for this since like the start of Figma, offset vector is pretty damn exciting. And I'm also very excited about just all the MC pre-improvements we're doing. Lots more to come. And yeah, I think there's so much opportunity there. And it's been great to see the community feedback. So yeah, more ahead.
Awesome. Thank
Not
you
today,
so
though,
much
to be
for
clear.
taking some
Not
time
today.
out of your day, for coming in, and for joining release notes.
Absolutely. Yeah. What am I looking at here? You got my face and my face.
Oh, yeah. I have your face here. I was just doing a little homage to your favorite JPEG.
My chain runner. Love it.
Yeah.
That's awesome, y'all. Well, I just want to thank everybody for tuning into release notes, and we have so much that we're excited to improve about Figma Design as well as our other surfaces. We're always trying to make it higher quality. Keep sending us your feedback in all the forms. We love it. We listen to it, and we're always trying to make everything better. So thank you again for supporting us, but also for helping us improve.
Awesome. Thank you so much. Thanks for finding the time to jam with us on release notes. All right, so we've launched some new variable authoring updates for everybody. We now have filter, search, and expand options for the variable modal to make it easier to find specific variables, to make updates quickly to help support your growing design systems. You can now opt in to receive push notifications from Figma in your browser the same way that you do in Figma's desktop app. You can close the gap for that feedback. Figma's new accessibility features bring better keyboard and screen reader support to all creators, right? These new controls complement Figma's existing keyboard shortcuts and enable mouse-free design collaboration with easy navigation across the canvas, right? That's huge. Speaking of of accessibility, we launched an update to the accessibility color picker. Now you can check color contrast across multiple selections at once. It's a simple way to catch accessibility issues faster when you're working across multiple frames or components. One more feature for Grid, you can now extend Grid both with the plugin and REST APIs. So you can build custom tools, automate updates, and make Grid work even better for your team's workflows. Okay, so that's everything for Figma Design. We went over some new Apple features, some new design system authoring improvements with the filter, search, full screen mode for variables modal, some accessibility features, and a bunch of new grid features. Stay tuned for more to come. We have Hug coming very soon, promise you that. Thanks so much for spending your time with us today. We're excited to see how you bring all these new features to life in your own work. Let's do a quick full recap of everything we've gone over so far together. Are you ready? I'm ready. Let's get ready. Figma Make is now available on all plans. We went through style context, the Supabase integration, mobile preview, named version, local edits, and finally now you can share makes on community and even remix ones. For Figma Sites, we covered custom subdomains, code layers, embed improvements, and a new live drops with video fill to make your website even more engaging, along with some features coming soon with custom fonts and password protection. For Figma Buzz, we covered asset resizing, add all templates, and 2 live new drops with default libraries and video import and export. For FigJam, we covered new shapes and advanced diagramming, a toolbar update, and improved node snapping to make your life easier when building out things like flowcharts. And for Figma Slides, we also covered some mobile updates to make previewing your slides on the go that much easier. For Dev Mode, we went over interactive inspection and we continue to add enhancements to the Dev Mode MCP server. So now you can use it to help create rules for how your agents should use MCP outputs, download assets from Figma for local use, and see some prompt suggestions for how to use the server with your designs. For Figma Draw, we live demoed variable width stroke and dropped 2 new launches live with Simplify Vector and Offset Vector. And finally, for Figma Design, we went through some new Apple updates, some variable modal updates with the ability to filter, search, and go into full screen mode. We also took a look at some accessibility launches and a bunch of new grid drops. Thank you for hanging with us today. Thank you to everybody at Figma working to make the platform better every day. Keep an eye out for more updates. We got even bigger things coming your way soon. If you try something new, share it with us, tag us, and let us know how it's going. We love seeing what this community creates. So that's all for today. Thank you so much for everyone joining us, and thank you, Dylan Field, for hopping on the live stream at the last moment. Appreciate y'all.